Everybody take a breath. Have you ever been reading something and it's like they're just words on a page? And you read it, and you read it, and you read it, and you still don't get it. And you're still looking at it, and it's just like empty words. And then you can take a breath, calm yourself down, read it again, and it starts to reveal itself to you. Do you remember to take a breath and calm yourself down? All right. What you're really doing is you're looking at the energy behind the words when you do that. But we are very interesting because what we see is really based on our mindset. Sometimes you can look at something and it absolutely cannot and will not make sense to you because of where you are in your perceptions at that moment. You know, sometimes I'll go back and look at some of the notes for sermons that I've done, messages, and I'm like, what was I thinking? How in the world did I tie those thoughts together? Oh well, file it away, because I'm not in the mindset of what I was sharing in that moment. So this month we've been working on thoughts. First we dealt with thoughts are things, then we dealt with thoughts becoming biology. And today we're going to look at the energy behind the thoughts. You know what governs your mindset is, what am I looking for? What am I looking for? That's what tells me what kind of mindset I'm going to choose to be in. So every perspective has its own energy. If you are looking at energy behind a words or situation, you're going to see something different than if you're just looking at the energy at face value. So think with me. People who traditionally look for conflict, when they read anything, what are they searching for? Conflict. People who traditionally look for resolution, when they read anything, they're going to be looking for resolution. And people who look to find mistakes, any editors out there? Then you tend to look for mistakes in everything, because that's your mindset. So we need to become aware of what our mindset, our natural mindset is, and possible ways to begin to alter it. Okay. In the Aquarian, we are told that we are on this planet to Christ at 3 different levels. We're Christing at the level of love, we're Christing at the level of wisdom, and we're Christing at the level of force. And in those 3 levels, there is a distinct energy and vibration. And this is in the introduction, page 16. It says that the consciousness of knowing that God is all-powerful, the all-powerful nature of God and man, is when we're trying to Christ in force. When we understand the divine love in all things, we're Christing in love. And when we really seek to understand supreme intelligence, divine holy breath, we're Christing in wisdom. And then it goes on to say, you know, there are many people who have great, great, great love in their hearts. They're really working on love, yet they can't put 2 sentences together. Wisdom. They're just love-based. People that are Christing with wisdom that have no access to their hearts. Do you understand? And then people who are trying to understand power and force and have no contact with their heart, no contact with wisdom, just using power and force willy-nilly. So you know people like all 3, and you yourself have been all 3. Because in our journey, we are trying to Christ, because we're at the higher, our world is evolving. I mean, this was 2,000 years ago, that this perception. We're at the higher realm of trying to understand love, working with wisdom, and working with force. So we're trying to Christ in all 3 levels, but typically we reside in one at a time. Do you understand? One at a time. So when we're feeling power, have you ever been with a partner? Because I know you can't see your own eyes. If we could, we'd be so smart. Okay. Have you been with a partner who's angry? And you look in their eyes and go, I don't know you. You are scaring me. I do not know who is coming through you right now, but I do not like it. You know? And then, if you say to them, just breathe and let's go to your heart. Can you just go to your heart for a minute? And they shut their eyes and they take a breath and they open their eyes and they're like, okay, I'm glad you're back. I was getting scared there. Because they shifted into love. Now, they're not perfect at either yet. We're Christing in all of us. And you know, please understand when I use the word Christing. Christing means that we're evolving to the level that we can understand the energy of God's perfection moving through our wisdom, moving through our hearts, moving through our power. Do you understand that? Is everybody really good with that? I'm not saying you're going to do anything but become fully aware of your divinity on all three levels: heart, mind, and power force. Okay, that's the Christing energy. All right. So we know the differences. We can feel the differences in ourselves, and we can see the differences in the people around us. So let's think for just a minute about, I want you to just kind of hang with me. Can you hang with me? Mm-hmm. Okay. Let's think about Jesus' day. I want you to think about the people who came to him for a healing. Remember the man who had taken his son to every healer he could find, and no one could heal him. And he said, since he was a child, I've been taking him from healer to healer to healer. And then Jesus' disciples couldn't heal him. Remember that one? And so again, another seeming failure. And Jesus comes on the scene. And the disciples said, we couldn't do anything. And the dad says, please heal my son. I mean, he is so worn out at this point. Please heal my son. And Jesus says, do you believe? He said, Lord, I believe. Help thou my unbelief. Help me where I don't believe. Lift me up. And then Jesus heals his son. You know, the story goes on about the disciples and teaching them about faith, and they got a little too overconfident and didn't talk to God, and blah, blah. But we'll leave them aside for today. Let's talk about the dad. Help thou my unbelief. And his son was healed. Where was he Christing? Do you think he went, oh, that was pretty cool. Wonder what else that guy teaches. Let me see what else that guy, I need to learn what that guy's doing. Do you think he did that? Heck no. He grabbed that kid and he said, oh my God, I haven't had you for years. What can we do? Oh my God, what can we do? Let me take you home. Let me show you your mom. Oh my God, I've got my son. And his whole heart opened and his whole focus went to having his family. Thanks, Jesus. Having his family. You know, love. That's what that man was about. He was about love. And do you think he had an eternal love for Jesus Christ? Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Eternal love. Maybe he never followed the Christian movement. Maybe he didn't. But you know he walked in love the rest of his life because that's where his mindset was. That's what he was working on. And then we see people like in Jesus' early years when he was teaching, or actually a child, with the Brahmic people. And there was a man, Llamas, who loved Jesus. He just thought he was fabulous. And he would say, you know, this kid knows a lot. And the Brahmins got mad at him for teaching that God loved everybody equally, which they knew for a fact he did not. That there were castes. That was what they knew. There were castes. And, you know, that's just the way it was for them. And so he was getting under their skin a little bit. And they got really mad at him. And Llamas, who sought wisdom, he sought wisdom. He actually stood up against his brethren. And he said, you know what, guys? I don't think so. I don't think you know this kid. He's really pretty smart. He's bringing us insights that we haven't had before. And then they beat Llamas up and threw him in the street. But Llamas got Jesus out. See, what were they learning? They were learning force, those other people. Llamas, is in his wisdom here, he got him scooted over the Himalayas to where the Buddhists were, and a man named Vijayapati saw him. And I wanted to read you what Vijayapati says. It's just beautiful. This is 32:43. This Hebrew prophet is a rising star of wisdom, deified. He brings us a knowledge of the secret things of God, and all the world will hear his words, will heed his words, and glorify his name. Be still and listen when he speaks. He is the living oracle of God. And then everybody in the priesthood went, cool, we're going to listen to this guy. We're going to listen to what he has to say. What were they looking for? Wisdom. And do you know what each and every one of them did? Do you think they followed Jesus when he went to his own people? No, they took the wisdom of what he said and said, how can I make our religion better? How can we bring this wisdom into what we're teaching? And that's what they did. They set about opening up some of what there had been limitations in their thought, because they were about thought. Do you see? And in the story of Jesus, we all know who was working with power. Everybody who was opposing him, dealing with power. Anybody who wanted to make money on him, and several people did approach him. How can we take what you're doing and make a fortune? And he very quickly went, yeah, go away. That's not where I am. So we see the power mainly in his story in the opposition. So everybody had a moment. Everybody had a mindset. Then we come to the people in the Aquarian who had an aha moment. An aha moment only happens when the mind and the heart come together and they open to such an extent that the power of your higher self can come through. And this is when heart, mind, and force are aligned. And that is the aha. We have two stories of this that are very beautiful. One is when Jesus is a young man and there's a priest named Agenin. And Agenin wants to hear, because Agenin's coming from wisdom. He wants to hear the stories and come to see me in my temple. And Jesus says, no, I'm busy over here. Well, the priests were not allowed to leave their temple, especially to go see somebody of lower caste. And Jesus was certainly of lower caste. And he approached him several times. And finally, Agenin just gave up. He sent presents. Jesus sent them back. I mean, Agenin gave up and went in the dark of night to visit Jesus. And Jesus said to him, what are you doing here? I have no wisdom for you in the dark of night that I do not speak freely to everybody in the day. Because Agenin came for wisdom. I don't have that for you. And then he said, well, show me your king. Show me your king. And Jesus kept saying, the king is love. And Agenin's going, no, the king that rules. The laws. What laws do you go by? Talk to me intellectually. And Jesus said, there are no laws. It's love. The king is love. And it's in every man in his heart. Well, this just blew Agenin completely out of the water. Why? He's coming to Jesus mentally. And in that moment, it says, Jesus said, I got nothing else to say. I mean, I could read it to you exactly, but paraphrasing, that's exactly what he said. I had nothing else. So Agenin got on his little horsey, and it says that on his way home, he went into the darkness. A darkness fell over his soul, and he saw it, and he saw the light. And he got it, and then he felt it, and he knew love. And he knew what Jesus had been saying. He had that extreme aha moment where his mind gave way to his heart, and then his higher self, the power of who he was, could move through his body. Now, what do you think Agenin did? Do you think he went back to be a priest and never changed? Oh, no. This is an aha moment. Aha moments always create change. They always create change. And it was a slow thing. He didn't quit everybody and quit his job and say, to heck with you people. Slowly. But we see him in the later stories as he appears and is interested in Jesus. He meets Jesus at certain points as Jesus is about his business. He follows the teachings of this man because it opened him up to the energy of God moving through his total being. And then the other story, which is very similar, is Nicodemus, which most of you know. Nicodemus was also a Pharisee. He was a high guy in the Jewish faith. And they were having a problem with what Jesus was saying. Do you remember? Do you remember the famous story you learned as a child, if you're in traditional theology, that Nicodemus came to Jesus at night because he couldn't be seen asking these questions in the day? Same story, coming at night. And Nicodemus is the one Jesus said, you must be born again. And they had the intellectual argument. What does that mean? They're going back and forth. What did Nicodemus come for? The wisdom. The wisdom. So I wanted to share just what he said very quickly. This is in chapter 75, 26 and 27. Everyone who loves the truth comes to the light. He does not fear to have his works made manifest. The light had come, and Nicodemus went his way. He knew the meaning of the birth of Holy Spirit. he felt the presence of spirit in his soul. And he was a ruler of the Jews. He went forward and did not quit his job, but he took the awakening, his higher self, the force, the wisdom, the love, shifted in him. And we see him later at the trial of Jesus. Do you remember? Nicodemus, when Jesus was brought before the Sanhedrin and tried for blasphemy and whatever else they wanted to put before him, Nicodemus stood forth as his attorney. And he systematically debunked every single lie that came at him. Every single false witness, Nicodemus nailed their tails and got them out of there. They could not build a case against him because Nicodemus stood so strong in his defense. Until they hit the part that Jesus was Son of God, and then, yeah, everything kind of tore loose at that point. Simply because in the Jewish faith that was blasphemy. So that was the big thing. But Nicodemus didn't stop there. It was Nicodemus and Joseph of Arimathea that got Jesus' body, that buried it. He was with him, supporting Jesus in his mission through each step. Because he got it, that aha. He got that aha. When our mind and our heart open and our higher self energy floods through us, we change. It's an aha moment. And the aha may not manifest immediately. That's why I keep telling you they went back to their jobs. It doesn't mean now they became something totally different outwardly. It percolates and changes you from the core and beyond. Are you all hearing me?
Yes.
Now, there is a different kind of moment that we get a lot. It's I got it. We get an I got it moment. You get those?
Mm-hmm.
I got it. So you're talking to somebody, hypothetically. I don't know who. That happens to yell a lot. And you're saying to this person, do you realize that when you yell, you're not only hurting me, you're hurting everybody that can even feel you. Your vibration is just hurting everybody. And the person that you're speaking to goes, I got it, I get it, I get it. I can control my energy, and I can alter my energy so that when I yell or when I want to reprimand you or whatever, I will not hurt others around you. I got it. I can do that. I can alter my behavior. How many I got it moments do we get? And then it takes our using our force to shift it, doesn't it? We're using our force to shift it. Now, I'm with David. I can't yell at David. Okay. Patrick, I can yell at you, but I promise not to yell at David. You see? I'm shifting my energy. Get it moments are good, but what if when someone said to you, when you yell at everybody, you slime everybody, it hurts everybody, what if you went, what does that mean? Oh my God, now I know why I yell at people. Ha! Aha moment. Brain, heart, energy flooding through me. Now I don't have to. I have been open to a realization that is beyond the mental world. I'm open to a realization that's true for me. Aha. And the energy moves. Now how much energy is required of me not to yell at people? Because the higher self in me has moved me, and I'm in a different space. Aha. Heart, wisdom align. Everything works beautifully. Always aligning. I know you've had a lot of aha moments, haven't you? You've had the I got it moments. They get close to an aha. I got okay, what I'm feeling something, okay. Have you ever thought about something that you know you got to change, you can feel it, I got to do something, and you just can't get to that aha? The fact that you're trying means you will. You'll get there. I will share with you my greatest aha moment. Do you want to hear?
Yes.
Okay. I was probably 17. I pray all the time. I prayed all the time. That's just who I am. And I was on a mission from my boss. I was running an errand. I was crossing the bridge over 285 at Buford Highway. Maybe Claremont, maybe Druid Hills, I don't know, but I was over that part of town. So I was, you know how the bridges over the expressway are? So I'm in my little car, getting on the bridge, as I'm driving, the universe opened. I had the most unbelievable download of why we're here. They showed me why we're here on the planet, why the universe was created, why everything exists. Not how, but why. And my brain was so expanded. My heart was just, oh my God, I'm 17 years old. I don't know what I'm going to do tomorrow. You know, I have no idea what career path I'm on. I'm a girl in the 70s, 72. There's no girls doing anything in 72. What do? I'm lost and I'm just going on an errand for my boss. The universe told me everything. Wow. I crossed the bridge, short bridge. By the time my car hit the other side, I had forgotten everything. Except the wow. And except they showed me. I knew why. I knew why we were here. Oh my God. I knew why we were here. Oh my God. Now, it had to have seeded so deep within me that it began to govern my choices, that it began to prepare me for the path that I needed to be on. And it had to have seeded so deep within me that when I hit those soul-wrenching darkness, the dark night of the soul that you talk about, that you read about, I have walked. And it had to have given me the strength to make it through that. It had to have. And today, I know it hasn't fully flowered. I haven't remembered yet why. But don't you know I know it's in me? The seed of it is in me. And my higher self energy took that little baby girl and said, just hang on. We got you. And I have been done this too. Every step of the way, they had me. They had me. It was not a conscious mind, wisdom thought. It wasn't a heart thought. It was the total. We're on this path now. I got you. Those ahas go so deep within us. You think that the one you had 10 years ago isn't working in you? It's working in you. It's working in you. The one you had last week is working in you. It's vibrating to give you the strength and to give you that essence. It's working. And now as we walk today, I got it. Do you guys got it? Are you getting it? Okay. From this moment, we could go into aha. When you have an I got it moment, turn the dial. And you can ask for an aha moment so that the energy shifts inside. Simple, simple adjustment. The words on a page. The next time you see the words on a page, and you're looking at words on a page, and they make no sense, and this is crazy, I don't like these words on a page, they don't resonate with me, blah, blah, blah. The next time you have that experience, think about your mindset and think about the aha. Even in that moment, you could say, okay, universe, why am I even reading these words on a page? There's got to be something here for me. I'm ready for my aha. I'm ready for everything to mean something to me. Everything that I do to mean something to me. So that my head, heart, and spiritual energy are one. Shall we go within? God, we open our hearts. We just ask that your love continue to flood us. I ask that a beautiful column of light just come over each individual so they are in their own sacred space. And I would invite each of you now just to feel that love in your heart and see the beautiful energy that surrounds you. The perfect, beloved child of God. The perfect, beloved child of God. I want you to feel your heart just beginning to open. And for a moment, ask to feel God's love moving through your heart. Father, Mother God, flow through us. Let our hearts be filled to overflowing with the gentle peace of knowing love. And you should feel a softness Maybe not a great vibration, but definitely a softness. And now, ask that the love of God move through your thoughts. Go up into your mind. Ask that that beautiful love of God move through the thoughts you hold in your mind. Can you feel things being shuffled around? Perhaps there is a peace descending. I give my thoughts to God. And now ask that that beautiful force of your divine I am, your higher self, move through your body. The force of creativity, the force that expresses, the force that has its own song. Feel your higher self becoming fully awake within you. Staying in your beautiful column of light, feel the safety. I am ready to express the Christ in my thoughts, my heart, and my force. And I feel good. In the core of my being, I feel good. Just notice anything going on in your body. Send love to anything in your body. Take a moment, breathe, expand your column of light as you exhale. And as you do this, this love will go out to your world. God, we thank you for enlightenment. And I ask that each one who hears this message has a week filled with aha moments. I thank you, thank you, thank you. And so it is. And breathe, and very gently you can open your eyes. Did you feel the energy balancing in your body? Well, your homework this week is not something you can control. It's something you have to be open to. I am willing to have an aha moment. Are you? Yeah. Say yeah, God.
Yeah.